The price of Bitcoin is down big time, dragging the entire crypto market with it. What are the big factors that are impacting the current state of the Bitcoin market, and what does it mean for the long-term vision of Bitcoin? Before I break all of that down for you, a quick reminder that BlockFi is running a special sign-up bonus until the end of the month. You can get $30 in free crypto by making a deposit of $100 or more and holding that crypto in your account until the new year. The offer is only valid until December 2nd and only applies to new users who sign up using the link down below and use the code LARK30. If you have been curious about testing out the BlockFi service, then this is a really good way to get your feet wet, earning 6.2% on Bitcoin, 4.1% on Ethereum, and 8.6% on USD. And of course, to get a sweet $30 bonus. So the price of Bitcoin is under $7,000. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is currently at 21, showing that there is a state of extreme fear gripping the market. The psychological roller coaster is definitely testing the determination of many Bitcoin hodlers at the moment. So many are being shaken out by the markets. The slow, creeping pain of terrible financial loss is dominating the thoughts of many a Bitcoin hodler. Snap out of it, guys. Come on. It's Bitcoin, guys. Don't you remember that classic investing maxim? Be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. Investing requires a strong mind that is able to be contrarian to the herd. Bear markets and corrections like this, they are amazing financial gifts. The market gives you these from time to time. Accept that gift. Don't deny the gift. Recognize them for what they are. One Bitcoin is still one Bitcoin. The daily price noise of Bitcoin? Beh. What really matters is steady, continuous accumulation of Bitcoin over the long term, stacking sats and chilling, and giving yourself a partial ownership of the strongest computer network in the world. Bitcoin is a scarce asset. That being said, let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. In these kinds of moments, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, throwing out all of their price predictions, many of them, of course, quite bearish. Our strongest support zone looking down is around $6,000. Will it hit? Will it hold if it does? Time will tell. But what has spooked the market so damn much? Well, a few things are having a really big impact on the market, and they're all coming together at the same time. Well, let's start off with China. 2 weeks ago, China was our buddy. China came back to save crypto, man. Yeah! But as we all know, China was taking that classic blockchain, not Bitcoin route. But it did seem like things were going to be okay. And then blammo! China decided to crack down on cryptocurrency exchanges in a big way. Now, it all started off with rumors of cops raiding the Binance and the BitHum offices in Shanghai, although both companies have denied those rumors. Then, shortly after that, we did see an official statement coming out on Friday from the People's Bank of China. It warned it was taking action against entities involved in trading cryptocurrencies. It seems like, in China at least, some of these insider companies, or some of these companies have insider connections, companies like Huobi and OKX, they're kind of out of the sights of the regulators at the moment. But both Shanghai and Shenzhen have vowed a crackdown on cryptocurrency exchanges. We've seen Binance and Tron have basically been banned from China's uber popular social media site called Weibo. All of that may sound a bit worrying, but you have to give it a perspective. China's been doing this kind of stuff in crypto for years. And every so often there's a new announcement of a crackdown on mining, or a crackdown on trading, or a crackdown on something else. The market goes into a big old panic. Like this hasn't happened before. It's happened so many times, and it's gonna happen so many more times. Stop taking the bait, everyone. Seriously, it's what China does. And of course, the Chinese black market for crypto remains absolutely huge in spite of all the official efforts to crack down on crypto. They have been totally incapable of cracking down and actually taming that market. Stop falling for the China FUD. The Chinese are still buying crypto like crazy, even if the government doesn't like it. Then, of course, there's the miner capitulation story, which has been weighing very heavily on the markets recently. And I covered this topic very much more in depth in a separate video, so go watch that if you want a real hardcore breakdown on this. But I will add this into it. The most recent price drop has put even more significant pressure on the smaller mining operations that are already running on very thin margins. The pressure for these small miners to either shut off their miners and make no money, or to dump on the market to keep being able to mine Bitcoin just to keep the lights on, really, that only grows with every single price drop that we see. Of course, we have to also account for the derivatives markets, which in particular interest is all that Wall Street paper garbage contract that we're seeing. We have the CME, which is offering their paper garbage contracts now. Bakkt is going live with their paper garbage contracts on December 9th. Bakkt is also launching Bitcoin options, so we have that to look forward to, yay. But Bakkt, it seems, very quickly decided to not be backed. Although their physically settled contracts will continue to trade, so there is that, but it's still Wall Street, so screw Wall Street. In fact, the volume for those physically settled futures have increased recently. So, yay for Bakkt, I guess, but they are firmly going in the direction of paper garbage contracts. At least Bybit and BitMEX and the others, they use real Bitcoin for their platforms. Paper contracts on Wall Street, garbage. And of course, on from the derivatives markets, the ever-pervasive theory that there are simply anti-human dark cabals out there which are suppressing the price of Bitcoin to eliminate human freedom and to drive us into the increasingly powerful Big Brother police state matrix supported by the fiat scam, with the eventual goal of basically oppressing us all under some kind of Orwellian Chinese social credit system of permanent financial human slavery. And of course whales, but there's that side of it. I don't know how much you want to give to that, but certainly there are some things going on out there in the Bitcoin land. But to expand a little more on the idea of actually the whales themselves, never fully discount the moves of whales. There are some single players out there with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Their ability to manipulate the market, ooh, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. Those guys have been splashing around recently too, moving 40,000 Bitcoin here, 40,000 Bitcoin over there. Whales, man. Whales. Anyway, all that aside, what we are most likely looking at is that the rally is simply losing its momentum. We went too far, too fast, and the market has come back into a strong cooling phase in the form of this correction. The China news from 2 weeks ago was unexpected, but really only delayed the inevitable slide downward that we're seeing right now. Volume has been quite anemic recently, with some exceptional days aside. The average daily volume has been quite low. We still suffer, of course, from really low crypto adoption across the board for all cryptocurrencies, even if adoption is increasing all the time. We have new merchant networks onboarding crypto. We have all these phones and browsers that are starting adding crypto wallets. Gaming's taking off. Decentralized finance is rising in prominence all of the time. And more people are waking up to the reality of the completely freaking broken fiat Ponzi financial system. All of these reasons and more are playing into the price bottom continuing to fall out from under Bitcoin. But the macro picture for Bitcoin is still freaking awesome. You know what? This day-to-day price noise, it doesn't have me worried. It really doesn't. I know that some of you may want me to panic and come out here and make a really bearish video, but let me tell you this. Getting salty about the falling price of Bitcoin doesn't change anything. Pretty useless. It just messes your head up. It makes it way more difficult for you to see the opportunity that is being given to you right now. If you bought Bitcoin and believed in Bitcoin at $13,000, then why don't you believe in it now? The network hasn't changed. The revolutionary fundamentals of cryptocurrencies, and particularly Bitcoin, has not changed. Just your perception of these revolutionary fundamentals has changed based on a manipulated market based on fiat valuations. The reality is that the halving is coming soon. We've never seen a new high before a halving. In fact, the time before halvings is notoriously rough and tumble and a bit turbulent. We should be watching for the new peaks to come a year to 18 months after the halving, which is on the one hand a really, really long time, and on the other hand, it's kind of just around the corner. Big picture, right? We are still in a long accumulation pattern. Enjoy this time. 6 months from the halving and looking at highs a year post-halving, that gives you a lot of time to accumulate. Stop worrying about that day-to-day price noise. Focus on getting as much of a stake in the network as possible. Don't play the tomorrow game. Don't play the next week game. Play the next year or 5 years or 10 years from now game. Be patient. That's where the biggest gains have come from long-term holding Bitcoin. The guys who bought Bitcoin at, $3, $100 and sold it later for thousands, that's the big game. The lower taxes, of course, on long-term holdings is just an extra incentive for you. Stack sats and chill. The potential to get a 5 or 10 or even 20% discount by, selling your Bitcoin now into fiat and trying to buy back lower, sure, that's there. But no one actually knows what the market will do tomorrow. There's a lot of good educated guesses out there, but the upside potential of Bitcoin is mind-boggling. Just be patient, stack sats, and chill. Use this as a time to average in at a lower price and acquire a bigger stake in the Bitcoin network. The reality is that we are still in an early phase of price discovery for a scarce asset. Even though we're 11 years in, you have to think about how early we still are. I'll finish with a quick quote from Charles Hoskinson on the price of Bitcoin. He said, "Bitcoin's price is going down. Remember, everyone, after the FUD, the news trading, and the manipulation clears out, we still have a global movement that's going to change the world. We will see $10,000 Bitcoin again and welcome $100,000 Bitcoin. Crypto is unstoppable. Crypto is the future." I agree with Charles. That's what keeps me here. The price, it's inevitable. When you understand that the price is inevitable, that we are going to see much higher highs in the future, it's simply a game of waiting and patience. It makes you realize that this revolutionary money is here and it's very exciting. You just have to look past that noise that we see going on. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that it was some useful information for you. As always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts, so please hit me up down below in the comment section. I read them all. I get to all those comments, so even if I don't write a comment back to you, I've at least read it, so if you get a heart or something from me, I've read your comment, and that's awesome. I love reading those guys. Really, they're really great, so thank you so much for taking the time to write those comments, and of course, super big shout out to everyone who is hitting that like button. I know, it's a weird thing. The YouTube boss, they like the like button. Weird thing. But anyway, if you guys have a second, hit that like button. That's super awesome. And of course, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.